Welcome to the Shelf Learner, educating myself with the books from my shelf. Welcome to the Self-Learner Shed. In today's video, we're going to discuss Chapter 5 of Read and Grow Rich by Burke, Hedges. But before we talk about Chapter 5, let's just review what we discussed in the last video, which was how to read a book effectively. We talked about how reading is a lot like an athletic sport. There's a quote that says, reading is to the mind what exercise is to the body. So if you want to get the most out of your reading, you need to incorporate the three phases. The warm-up, which is reviewing the book, asking the right questions. The workout is reading actively with pen and highlighter and taking notes. And the last phase is the cool down, where you review your notes, what you've read, and you share it with others to reinforce it. Well, in Chapter 5, he talks about the readers and read-nots versus the haves and have-nots. He starts off with the chapter with a funny story about two boys walking in the woods one day, when all of a sudden, at a distance, they see this ferocious-looking grizzly bear charging in their direction. Well, immediately the boys, they start running as fast as they can. And one of them stops all of a sudden, goes into his backpack and pulls out some sneakers. He starts lacing his sneakers real fast, and his friend said, "What in the world are you doing?" And he yelled out, "You're not going to be able to outrun that bear." And the guy finished lacing up his sneakers and started running as fast as he can. And he yelled back, "I don't need to outrun the bear. I just need to outrun you." Well, the author talks about how the grizzly bear represents intense, increasing competition. The two boys represents the workers in the information age. And the sneakers represent the slight edge you get from reading good books. Well, I started thinking about this, and I took it to a different level. I started asking myself questions about the different ages that we had. And the first one was the agricultural age. And then we had the industrial age. And as the author mentioned, we have the information age. But then I started thinking, we're transitioning from the information age into the virtual age. So when I read this, I saw the bear as representing this beast system that we live in that represents the virtual reality age that we are in currently. And the two boys represents the readers and read-nots, the haves and have-nots. The sneakers represent that slight edge of reading good books. Well, in order to survive in this virtual reality age that we're in, you need to be able to discern what's right and what's wrong, what's true and what's not. Because with the technology we have, those people who have control of history, and history represents his story, the narrative that they want to spin, they can spin whatever story that they want. And unless you are a discerning reader of good books, you're just going to buy into whatever narrative that's being propagated. So it's very, very important that you take ownership of your learning. And speaking about ownership of learning, there's a part of the book that he talks about the average earning income of different levels of education based on the U.S. Census of 1995. It says those people who drop out of high school, they'll earn an average of $11,000 a year. Those who complete high school will have $17,000 a year. Those who go off to college, $32,000. And those who get their masters, something like $41,000. And those who are considered professionals, like doctors and so forth back in that day, an average of $66,000 a year. I know it's probably doubled now, but the point that he wanted to make was the figures you don't see in the chart. The people who happen to read tend to increase their average earning as far as this chart is concerned. But it kind of reminded me of a quote that Jim Rohn once said, "A formal education will get you a job, but a self-education will make you a fortune." Maybe not just financially, but it will enrich your life in all areas of your life. And that's what he talks about, Read and Grow Rich in this book, is enriching your life, whether it be relationships with your Creator, with your family, with your neighbors, to improve your value in the workplace, in your profession, whether to learn about taking care of your health, pursuing interests so that you may live a fulfilling life. That's what it's all about as far as readers and those who have and those who don't. So just to recap, it's very, very important to be able to read good books, to discern what is real in this virtual age. Put your comments down below. Let me know what you think about the chapter, and I look forward to discussing the next chapter with you. And of course, make it a great day.